to the Virtual Investor Summit. We are very, very close to the end of our 3-day event. We're going to get into the next presentation, which is with the Executive Chairman of Nettcentric. Now, this is a pioneering and established provider of social media influencer marketing solutions. So it provides a diverse client base of leading brands with results-focused growth strategies backed by end-to-end expertise spanning influencer marketing, social media marketing, performance marketing, video and content creation, and also social commerce. Now, it launched Nufnang Live Commerce last year. That's a platform which turns the engagement between social media influencers and their followers into revenue and sales. It achieved 65% growth in sales in January this year compared to the monthly average achieved in the December quarter of last year, and ran a successful campaign with Nivea. So I'd like to introduce now the Executive Chairman, Ganesh Kumar Banga. Obviously, if you've got any questions during the presentation, just to pop them into the Q&A box below, and I will join you again in about 20 minutes for a question and answer session. Ganesh, over to you.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Ganesh Banga. I'm the Executive Chairman of Nettcentric Limited, Asia's pioneering digital growth ecosystem. A bit of background on Nettcentric. We are a pioneer in terms of providing social media influencer marketing solutions, rapidly commercializing an innovative social commerce platform. We have end-to-end expertise spanning influencer marketing, social media marketing, performance marketing, video and content creation, as well as social commerce. And we use data and insights to grow our diversified revenue streams by empowering communities with innovative digital platforms. We have over 300 clients, over 13,000 influencers across 4 offices in Malaysia, Singapore, and Taiwan, with 78 employees. We're currently profitable, EBITDA and operational cash flow positive, with a growing core business. A bit of our corporate snapshots. Last year, we had a revenue of 7.9 million Singapore dollars, with a cash in the bank of 3.4 million, and we currently have a market cap of 64.91 million Australian dollars. A bit on our board of directors. I'm currently the executive chairman of the company. A bit on my background. I'm the founder and former CEO of M1 Global Inc., the first internet company and Southeast Asia's leading payment gateway to be listed on the Nasdaq. I was the Ernst & Young Technology Entrepreneur of the Year in 2012, a former chairman of the National Tech Association of Malaysia, and founded Commerce.Asia, an all-in-one e-commerce ecosystem, in 2017. Joanne Khoo is the chairman of our audit committee. She has more than 24 years of experience in corporate finance and business advisory services, and is a CPA from Australia. Robert Sultan is our independent non-executive director and chairman of our nomination committee or remuneration committee. He was a former senior partner at Norton Rose and advises us as a board member on legal matters. Darren Cooper is our independent non-executive director, was a board chair of 2 Australian listed companies as well, and helps us in terms of go-to-market in the Australian market. We have a diverse range of blue chip customers built over the last 14 years. Nettcentric was incorporated in 2006, listed on the ASX in 2015. Last year, I acquired the company, majority of the company, early last year, and we established our live commerce venture in 2020 together with Commerce.Asia. You can see below these slides our range of diverse and established clients that we have built over the last 14 years. We have an end-to-end ecosystem for growth, which we provide to our clients, from social influencer and content marketing, our key product and revenue driver that contributes 58% of our revenue, provides awareness to our clients, right down to Nufnang Live, our new product that helps our clients generate revenue. When clients come to us, we sit down with them to understand their business needs. We consult and propose strategies for them to increase sales through using influencer marketing and our technologies. And then we basically distribute their products and their messaging through our various marketing channels. With that, we generate awareness of the brand to consumers and optimize the traffic to increase revenue. We have a comprehensive platform to serve a large market. The global influencer marketing market is actually expected to grow from 5.5 billion in 2019 to 22.3 billion in 2024, with Asia Pacific set to lead in that growth. And we actually have a complete ecosystem to actually assist influencers in generating revenue, from getting branded campaigns from our clients for influencers to providing products to influencers to sell over live commerce, which I'll explain more later, to even setting up a merchandise store for influencers to actually sell their own merchandise, to media to help grow influencers, to an academy to teach influencers what to do, and even CSR to help influencers actually create a better social impact, to create a better world. And we do all of this in a dashboard that we're currently building. So if you're an influencer, you can log into this dashboard, see what campaigns there are that you can run to earn money for yourself, start selling merchandise online, and see how much you've actually earned that particular day or month. Nafdang, our influencer platform, is actually our key program and revenue driver. Here we provide our clients with influencer engagement, brand ambassadorships, and a brand advocate program. We are leader for this in our core market, Malaysia. And in our core market, this is actually our fastest growing revenue stream. In Malaysia, we experienced and established, we've launched thousands of influencer and content campaigns. Because we've been around for so long, we understand the insights, we have deeper insights into what actually helps our clients. We have a large market share here, and our team actually focus on ideas first, which is why our clients have stayed with us over the last couple of years. Our new strategic expansion area is through live commerce. So what is live commerce? Live commerce is essentially selling via Facebook. So if you actually go on Facebook here in Asia, you actually start seeing people even selling seafood and various different products via video on Facebook. So Nothing Live Pro is basically a software as a service that we've developed to actually help these influencers basically automate their process of selling on Facebook. We also have Nothing Live Business, which helps the brands, our clients, to actually sell products through the influencers that sell on live commerce. And we also have a marketplace that we're building out to link influencers that sell on live commerce with brands. And through that, we will earn a percentage of the fees charged on product sales done by the influencers or the live commerce sellers. This is a bit of a background, a bit of a flow chart on how Nothing Live Commerce works. So if you watch a live video on Facebook and you want to buy a product, most people in Asia actually know that if you want to buy one product, you press +1. If you want to buy two products, you press +2. The moment you press +1 or +2, a buyer actually receives a notification to confirm the order. He makes the payment via a payment gateway link to us, and the merchant receives a notification that he has been paid and can then deliver the product. If the product's actually located in our partner warehouse will actually pick, pack, and deliver that product, and the buyer receives the order. Now, we expect this industry to grow exponentially over the next couple of years. In 2018, live commerce actually generated $20 billion of sales in China, and we expect that trend to actually grow in Asia as well. In 2020, that in one day, Singles Day alone, which is 11/11, live commerce generated 20 billion in renminbi of sales in China. So this is actually one of the fastest growing components or aspects within the fast growing e-commerce industry. In fact, live commerce is actually the fastest growing sector within the e-commerce industry in Southeast Asia where we operate. And the e-commerce industry in Southeast Asia is actually the fastest growing sector in the digital economy, right? So we're operating in the fastest growing area, within the fastest growing sector, within one of the fastest growing regions, Southeast Asia, in the fastest growing sector of that region. Now, rounding out our end-to-end marketing platforms, we have Sashimi, which is our full-service digital agency that provide clients with end-to-end solutions to actually help build their brands. And we also have Plata and Punta, which actually helps our clients increase sales through effective spending of advertising. These are some of our success stories. So for Nafdang, for example, during the lockdown, one of the reasons our sales grew last year was that influencer marketing is one of the most effective ways to actually grow your sales and generate engagement in the new normal. So we actually have an FMCG beverage brand actually garner audience of 2 million on Facebook, 10% of Malaysia's population basically. We have this FMCG brand reach and actually help them increase their engagement with their audience as well. Now for Plata and Punta, we actually help a Malaysian bedding brand grow their e-commerce sales from $50,000, about $50,000 to $100,000 to more than $1 million of sales, million ringgit of sales last year, giving them a return on ad spend of 15.4 times. So for every dollar spent on advertising, we actually help this brand generate $15 of revenue. Now, in terms of financial highlights, last year, Nafdang revenue actually grew 21% year on year, contributing 43% of our overall revenue of $7.9 million. Our revenues grew last year, our margins maintained, and because of that, we actually had our first operating cash flow positive year and maiden profit since our 2015 ASX listing. So we're now cash flow positive, break even, we're investing in growth, and we expect our revenue to continue growing in the years to come. Some of our new growth areas and integrations. So we had strong volume growth from Nafdang Live Commerce. In January 2021, we actually facilitated $300,000 Aussie dollars of sales. And this was a 65% growth from the monthly average orders from the last quarter of last year. Today, we just announced an integration to Shopify, enabling Shopify merchants to actually sell their products via Nafdang Live Commerce. There were 1 million Shopify merchants, and this opens up access to them, enabling all of them to use live commerce to sell via Facebook. We also are looking at now integrating several additional e-commerce platforms and also digital wallets. As some of you may know, digital payments is growing very quickly in Southeast Asia. It's reached its inflection point, and we expect that digital payments will also be used as one of the key payment mechanisms on not only e-commerce, but live commerce as well. So we are really operating in several high growth areas in this region. In terms of strategic outlook, we see our continued expansion in social commerce, growing with the growth of social commerce. So social commerce in APAC is expected to reach 2 trillion by 2019. It actually reached 2 trillion in 2019 and is expected to actually double by 2024. We are well placed to leverage on our influencers to grow the brands that we actually help grow in the growth of social commerce. We have scalability through automation. We hired a CTO last year, and this CTO is basically developing automation technologies to enable to actually grow our client base from big brands to SMEs. And we also see growth through potential acquisitions. We're actually looking at acquiring now a number of we're actually looking at acquiring a couple of one or two companies, I would say, in the consumer community space, enabling us to merge influencers with consumer community or consumer media to help further grow or to help actually provide a further total solution to our clients. So in terms of investment highlights, we are profitable and with a growing core business operating within a fast-growing influencer marketing industry. We're already cash flow self-sufficient with comfortable cash reserves. We have a complete business growth ecosystem providing end-to-end solutions for effective go-to-market, from creating awareness to generating engagement right through to optimizing revenue. We have a first mover advantage and barrier of entry secured through our large social media influencer community in Asia. We are trusted by established brands and leading agencies, recognized by the media industry, led by a committed and visionary entrepreneur. I own the majority of this business. I've invested quite a lot of capital in acquiring this business, and I'm committed to grow and build this business and bring it to a much higher level. Our new investments in automation and social commerce also offers potential to deliver scalable growth. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh. Well, we might get stuck into some questions because there's plenty of them coming on, and maybe I'll just start. It's a bit of a devil's advocate one, but how do you mitigate the risk, and how do you think about the ease with which the various social platforms can change their algorithms, or indeed just change the rules altogether, like we saw a few weeks ago when Facebook just decided to pull news off the platform in Australia in one market? How closely do you work with the platforms, and how quickly, I suppose, if something did change, could you pivot?
Sure. So there are a few things. One is we are not only dependent on Facebook, we actually help bring our influencers to multiple platforms. We bring them to, for example, Instagram and TikTok, right? And of course, the platforms, as all of us know, can change the algorithms, but by not depending on a particular platform and by owning our own technology, we're able to kind of customize our solutions to meet those algorithms as well. Now, in terms of also reducing our dependency on third-party platforms, some of the acquisitions we're looking at will actually help in doing that, because they would be their own independent third-party platforms as well, which we can also use as an alternative to the large platforms.
Okay, we've got a question here in relation to the Shopify integration, which gives you access to 1 million merchants. How do you make money on those transactions?
Sure. So basically, Nafeng Live Commerce makes money through transactions. So for every transaction sold on live commerce, we actually charge a transaction fee to merchants. So we charge a 2 ringgit transaction fee to merchants, right? And share part of that with the bank. So we actually earn money from transactions. In the future, we're also looking at incorporating a premium model where we'll actually charge subscriptions to merchants as well.
Okay. Talk to us just, big picture about your expansion plans from a geographic point of view. What other markets are you looking to get into?
Sure. We are market leader today in Malaysia. We also operate in Singapore and Taiwan. And we see Southeast Asia as one of the key core fastest growing markets I will see in APAC or Southeast Asia. And so we look at markets like Indonesia, Philippines, and Thailand. And these are the markets that we look to expand moving forward.
So what's the thinking then behind being listed in Australia? Is Australia a market for you, or an important sort of part of that footprint?
Sure. The growth in influencer marketing and social commerce is actually today happening in Southeast Asia, right? It's just because Southeast Asia is right now growing. We have a growing middle class. The income of this middle class is actually growing. So our focus is very much in Southeast Asia, at least for now, because that's where the growth is, right? But we could look at markets, or we could look at Australia or even acquisitions in Australia as a market. But we're right now focused on really dominating the fast-growing Southeast Asian market.
Okay, so you mentioned acquisitions there. What styles of acquisitions would you seek in order to sort of complete what you obviously see as sort of an ecosystem that you're building?
Sure. So owning a consumer community would be one. So media sites that have a significant amount of traffic is an area we're looking at, right? That will enable us to kind of reduce the dependency, for example, on third-party platforms, right? And have direct access to communities as well, which will, in line with that, also help combine, I would say, the solutions that we can provide to our clients.
Okay. Which other e-commerce groups would you like to integrate Nafnang Live Commerce with, following that integration that you've done with Shopify?
Sure. So I did speak about mobile wallet platform providers. So we're talking to a number of mobile platform providers, basically in the wallet space, because enabling their consumers to actually buy products from live commerce. Imagine you're actually using a mobile phone and watching a video on a mobile, and you're actually paying for using a wallet. At the same time, after paying in a Starbucks, for example, you can watch video and start buying products from that same wallet, right? So that's an area of expansion that we're actually looking into. It's quite innovative, but it actually reduces a lot of the friction when it comes to purchasing, right? Because a lot of people have free time while they're sitting in a cafe. They've just paid for their Starbucks coffee. Now they could watch video, or they could watch a live commerce video on their phone and start buying products. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So lots of people just seem to be really interested in, where you're clipping the ticket, how much you're getting, who's paying who, and all that sort of stuff. I've got another question here. Do Facebook and the other social media platforms take a fee from each individual purchase? And if so, how much?
No, Facebook, I guess this is around live commerce, right? So Facebook does not take a fee from the transactions, right? We actually provide our platform to people that sell on Facebook. So we're integrated through the Facebook API to enable the consumers of the merchant. For example, when the consumers of a merchant presses +1 or keys in +1 to the private message, our API actually picks that up and immediately sends them a message to make payment, right? So Facebook does not earn a transaction fee from that. Facebook actually earns from the merchants when they actually market on Facebook.
Right. And so would you be confident that, Facebook is going to be happy with that model going forward? If you look at, for example, the huge fight that's going on between Apple and the people who make Fortnite, for example, and, trying to say, well, actually, if you're making in-app purchases, that Apple shouldn't be able to take a cut of all of those purchases, which is not too dissimilar to what you're talking about here with Facebook. Are you confident that some of the other platforms like Facebook won't turn around and do an Apple and start trying to sort of cut your lunch, so to speak?
Sure. Facebook and Apple are two very different animals, I would say. Facebook has always been a company that makes money from advertising, whereas Apple has not been an advertising focused company. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Facebook's key proposition, or what Facebook wants to do, is provide as much value to their merchants so they can charge their merchants for advertising, right? And that's that's one of the key propositions, I would say, for that's one of the key reasons why we don't believe Facebook will cut our lunch, so to speak. But one of the other strengths that we have is because we operate in Southeast Asia, and we will look at integrating all the localized mobile wallet providers and payment providers. We would have more in-depth integrations locally than they would have, right? And I come from a payment background where in my previous company, we were actually partners with Facebook. We actually help Facebook collect payments in Southeast Asia, right? So with that, if they need a partner in these markets, we could be a good partner for them to actually help them in terms of integrating and providing integration to, for example, local warehousing players or even the payment players. But that's something I think we will look at in the future.
Okay. And a question here from Anthony. Are you looking to reduce or dilute your personal shareholding in NCL over time, and how will you do that?
Yeah, so I actually acquired 84% in the company last year, and we recently did a private placement to do a number of acquisitions, and that's why I diluted my stake to 78%. I've also offered some of my shares to employees. So we have an option program where some of my shares I've offered as options to the employees to further dilute my stake as well. And over time, I believe we'll need more capital, or we'll look at raising more capital, even if we don't need them in the short term. We may need them in the medium term or long term. We can look at actually then raising more capital from the markets through a placement or even rights issue, which may actually then further dilute my stake and further increase liquidity for the company.
Okay, I think we might leave it there. That was really
immediate future. I've got a lot of confidence in the company, so in the immediate future, I'm looking at doubling down, I would say, on the growth of the business. But over time, I'll be open to kind of reducing my stake in the business.
it's all about why you list. Ganesh, thank you very much for your time. Great to talk to you.
Thanks.